Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel and we talk about them in a positive way. If that's something that appeals to you, you've come to the right place. We're so happy to have you here. This happens to be Terrifying Tuesday, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the future of the Saw franchise because if you haven't heard, there's some major developments in the Saw franchise that could be a game changer. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so we have to talk a little bit about the Saw franchise because there are some developments in the Saw franchise worth talking about. If you aren't aware of what's been going on with it, they were going to be doing another movie, but then all of a sudden that kind of went south and they haven't been able to do anything with the franchise. There was some issues with creatives and they didn't know where to go with it, and the ones that wanted to do something, apparently they didn't like what was going on. A whole big mess that's behind the scenes, and we can only tell you what was actually said, that it was just some creative differences backstage that ultimately led to the demise of the next Saw movie. So it seemed that the Saw franchise was finally going to be gone. It was going to be over forever. And then some news broke last week after we did our Terrifying Tuesday video. I actually came across this news and I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to think of this. But it was just a rumor at the time, and it remains just a rumor today. So I thought we would discuss what this is and how it is a game changer. So all the news articles and all the places and all the YouTube videos are saying the exact same thing. Blumhouse has bought the Saw franchise. Well, that's not entirely true. If you see that, it's just a clickbait article or they're telling you something that isn't true yet. Now, by the time you see this video, word could come out that it is officially a done deal. However, for now, until we hear something more, consider this all to be a rumor. But it's one of those rumors that you should believe is a real thing. It's one of those that you should still take with a grain of salt, but then also know that there's some truth to this. So news comes to us from a variety of sources. We're going to quote what Deadline said a few days ago about this situation because nothing has really changed. And I want to kind of let you guys know what's been going on. So according to Deadline, in a deal that would bring James Wan back in touch with the mega horror IP he created, we hear from several sources that Blumhouse is acquiring the prospective rights to Twisted Pictures' portion of the Saw movie. In short, this means that Blumhouse has taken over the ownership of the movie from Twisted's Mark Berg and Oren Colas. And I know I mispronounced that name. Mispronounced it. Lionsgate will continue to be involved as a partner. In fact, it owns 50% of the franchise. Then it says, as of this time, there isn't another movie in development. Wan directed the first Saw movie in 2004 and co-wrote with Lai Wenao. Wan remained an EP on the remaining Saw movies. So essentially what that means is that Wan is going to continue to executive produce or possibly get back in the directing chair. If you don't know, he had directed the original movie and has been an executive producer on the remaining movies. So this is not a bad thing. I think that this is actually something that's very good. Now, the next Saw was previously scheduled for September 25th. However, it was stalled. Lionsgate and the franchise producers didn't see eye to eye on the 11th movie. And the Saw scribes Mark Melton and Marcus Dunstan had turned in a draft in 2024. And director Kevin Grutart, and I know I mispronounced that name, I'm sorry, was attached to direct. his 2003 movie opened to 18.3 million domestic, finaled at 53.6 million stateside, and went north of 112 million global. Now that's all very good. And with a company like Blumhouse buying the project, will things be a little bit cheaper than, say, another production company? That's kind of something I think people are worried about. And you might be rightly so in worrying about it like that, because we don't really know if it's going to cheapen the Saw movies at all. But it is nice to know that some of the original team is still behind it. And this is actually a very good thing for another reason. It means that if Blumhouse does get this project, if they get this film franchise, they're going to want to do something with it. So you're pretty much guaranteed a couple more Saw movies within the next couple of years. And my guess is that they're going to pump them out as quick as they can. So I kind of expect that once they got it, whatever that script was that got turned in possibly is the script they will use. We could be seeing something get done sooner rather than later on the Saw franchise, and I'm not sad about that. I think that that is something worth watching. Blumhouse kind of has a hit or a miss when it comes to movies, and I see why people would be worried about this, and I also see why it has people that are utterly excited, because I've said it in the past, I've liked most of Blumhouse's movies, and for that reason, I fall in that latter category. I would be ecstatic about this. I think that they have the right tools where they could do something extraordinary with this franchise. At the very least, we know we would be getting more Saw movies, and we would be getting them with James Wan continuing to be at least an executive producer. That's a good thing. I would be a lot more worried if they didn't have him going along with them, if they didn't have the people they have behind this project, then I would be a lot more worried. I would be wondering what the future is going to look like for this. But if you have the foundation of the people that you can trust with the product, then you know that you're at least going to be getting something that they would approve. Because my guess is if he doesn't approve the script, it's not getting done. It's not like Blumhouse is going to sabotage this new deal by isolating James Wan. So we know already that that is a good thing. We know that he can and will continue to be a part of this project, at least as of right now. Now, keep in mind, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is all still a rumor. It is something to be taken with a grain of salt, but really, honestly, this is something that is pretty much almost guaranteed to happen, and I think it's a wonderful thing. But that, my friends, is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. I want to know what you guys are thinking about this. Do you think that this is a good thing if Blumhouse buys this? Are you worried about Blumhouse ruining this project, ruining this franchise, being the final nail in the coffin? Or do you have faith that as long as they're continuing to be true to the people who were behind the project to begin with, that they can do something interesting with it? Do you think they'll use the same script that was given to them before for the new Saw movie? Or do you think that Blumhouse will just have someone new come in and write a script, and we'll see what we get then? But as always, I want to hear from you guys. Make sure you're leaving me a comment in the comment box below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this crazy conversation. Then make sure you're hitting that like button. It's free. It helps the channel. We really do appreciate it. Then while you're down there, hitting that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And then hit that notification bell too, so you don't miss a single video we do. And then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it. fandom is family.